Genesis chapter 26. There was a famine in the land, besides the earlier famine during Abraham's time. Isaac went to Gerar, where Abimelech, king of the Philistines, ruled. The Lord appeared to Isaac and told him not to go down to Egypt, but to stay in the land that God would show him. God reaffirmed the covenant he had made with Abraham, promising to give Isaac and his descendants the land and to multiply his offspring. While living in Gerar, Isaac feared that the people would kill him because of Rebekah's beauty, so he said that she was his sister. Later, Abimelech saw Isaac showing affection to Rebekah and realized that she was actually his wife. He rebuked Isaac and ordered that no one should harm either Isaac or Rebekah. The Lord blessed Isaac greatly. He planted crops and reaped 100-fold harvest, becoming very wealthy with many flocks, herds, and servants. The Philistines became jealous and stopped up the wells that Abraham's servants had dug. Isaac moved away and dug several new wells, but disputes arose over them. Eventually, he found a well over which there was no conflict and named the place Rehoboth, saying that the Lord had made room for him. Later, Isaac moved to Beersheba, where the Lord appeared to him again and promised to be with him and bless him. Isaac built an altar and worshipped God there. Eventually, Abimelech and his officials came to make a peace treaty with Isaac because they recognized that the Lord was with him. Genesis chapter 27. When Isaac became old and his eyesight had grown weak, he called for his eldest son Esau and told him to hunt game and prepare a meal so that he could give him his blessing before he died. Rebekah overheard the conversation and devised a plan for Jacob to receive the blessing instead. Although Jacob was afraid of being discovered, Rebekah insisted and took responsibility for the plan. She prepared the food, dressed Jacob in Esau's clothing, and covered his hands and neck with goatskins to make him feel hairy like Esau. Jacob went to Isaac pretending to be Esau. Although Isaac was suspicious because the voice sounded like Jacob's, he felt the goatskins and smelled Esau's clothing, and therefore believed him. Isaac then gave Jacob the blessing intended for the firstborn son. Shortly after Jacob left, Esau returned with the meal he had prepared. When Isaac realized that he had blessed Jacob, he trembled greatly, but the blessing could not be taken back. Esau wept bitterly and pleaded for a blessing of his own. Isaac gave him a lesser blessing, telling him that he would live by the sword and serve his brother for a time. Esau became furious and planned to kill Jacob after Isaac's death. When Rebekah learned of this, she instructed Jacob to flee to her brother Laban in Haran. Genesis chapter 28. Isaac called Jacob, blessed him again, and instructed him not to marry a Canaanite woman. Instead, he was to travel to the household of Laban and choose a wife from among his relatives. Isaac also passed on to Jacob the blessing given to Abraham. When Esau saw that his parents disapproved of his Canaanite wives, he married a daughter of Ishmael in an attempt to please them. Jacob left Beersheba and traveled toward Haran. Along the way, he stopped for the night and used a stone as a pillow. While sleeping, he dreamed of a stairway reaching from earth to heaven, with angels ascending and descending on it. The Lord stood above the stairway and promised to give Jacob and his descendants the land on which he was lying. God also promised to be with Jacob wherever he went, to protect him, and to bring him back safely to this land. When Jacob awoke, he was filled with awe and declared that the place was the house of God and the gate of heaven. He set up the stone as a pillar, poured oil on it, named the place Bethel, and vowed that if God protected and provided for him, he would worship the Lord and give him a tenth of all he received. Genesis chapter 29. Jacob continued his journey and arrived in the land of the eastern peoples. At a well, he met shepherds and learned that they knew Laban. Soon afterward, Rachel, Laban's daughter, arrived with her father's sheep. Jacob rolled the stone away from the well, watered the flock, introduced himself to Rachel, and wept with joy because he had found his relatives. Rachel ran home and informed Laban, who warmly welcomed Jacob into his household. After Jacob had stayed for a month, Laban asked what wages he desired. Jacob agreed to work 7 years in exchange for Rachel's hand in marriage because he loved her deeply. The 7 years seemed like only a few days to Jacob because of his love for her. However, when the wedding day arrived, Laban deceived Jacob by giving him Leah, his older daughter, instead of Rachel. Jacob discovered the deception the next morning and confronted Laban. Laban explained that it was their custom to marry off the older daughter first and offered Rachel as well if Jacob would work another 7 years. Jacob agreed and married Rachel, whom he loved more than Leah. The Lord saw that Leah was unloved and opened her womb, while Rachel remained childless. Leah gave birth to 4 sons: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. With each birth, Leah hoped that her husband would love her more, but by the birth of Judah, she turned to praising the Lord. Genesis chapter 30. Rachel became jealous of Leah because she could not have children. She asked Jacob for children, and when she remained barren, she gave her servant Bilhah to Jacob as a wife so that she might have children through her. Bilhah bore 2 sons, Dan and Naphtali. When Leah saw that she had stopped bearing children, she gave her servant Zilpah to Jacob, and Zilpah gave birth to Gad and Asher. Later, Reuben found mandrakes in the field, and Rachel asked Leah for some of them. Leah agreed in exchange for spending the night with Jacob. After this, Leah conceived again and gave birth to Issachar, Zebulun, and a daughter named Dinah. Eventually, God remembered Rachel, opened her womb, and she gave birth to a son named Joseph, praying that the Lord would give her another son as well. After Joseph was born, Jacob asked Laban for permission to return to his homeland. However, Laban persuaded him to stay because he recognized that God had blessed him through Jacob. They agreed that Jacob would receive as wages all the spotted, speckled, and dark-colored animals among the flocks. Jacob then managed the breeding of the flocks in such a way that his own livestock increased greatly. As a result, Jacob became very prosperous, acquiring large flocks, servants, camels, and donkeys. Summary of Genesis chapters 26 to 30. Genesis chapters 26 to 30 describe the transition from Isaac's life to Jacob's journey and the beginning of the nation of Israel through Jacob's family. In chapter 26, God reaffirmed his covenant with Isaac and blessed him abundantly despite conflict and opposition. Isaac experienced God's faithfulness and established peaceful relations with those around him. In chapter 27, Jacob, with Rebekah's help, deceived Isaac and received the blessing intended for Esau. This act caused division within the family and forced Jacob to flee from his brother's anger. Chapter 28 records Jacob's encounter with God at Bethel, where God renewed the covenant promises and assured Jacob of his presence and protection. Chapter 29 recounts Jacob's arrival at Laban's household, his love for Rachel, and Laban's deception in giving Leah as his wife first. Despite family tension and rivalry, God blessed Leah with children. In chapter 30, the competition between Leah and Rachel for children led to the rapid growth of Jacob's family, which would later become the 12 tribes of Israel. During this time, God also prospered Jacob greatly, increasing his wealth and possessions. Overall, Genesis 26 to 30 demonstrates God's faithfulness in fulfilling his covenant promises, even through human weakness, deception, conflict, and imperfect decisions. God continued to guide, protect, and bless his chosen family according to his divine plan.